Hi, and welcome to Beyond the Paycheck. I'm Paula Christine. So today I'm joined by Linda Lingo, who is a financial coach, and we're going to talk about some savings and money tips. So welcome, Linda.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We're glad to have you. So I know most people struggle with doing a budget. I mean, I know even as a coach myself, I struggle with a budget sometimes, but I know that once I got on the budget, stuck with it, revisit it often, that it really does help you get control of your money. So what are your top tips for setting up a budget?
Let's get right into it. When I'm coaching my clients, I don't start with the money.
Oh, okay.
I start with the mindset, the emotional side of it. So my first tip is to know your values. Only when you know your values are you able to establish financial goals in alignment with those values. I have coached hundreds of women primarily, and it never fails. When they set up a financial goal they think they should, and I don't like the word should, they don't follow through. And so it's only when we know what our values are first and establish goals in alignment with those values that I see people actually following through in establishing their, what I call an intentional money spending and saving plan. I actually don't like the word budget.
I agree with that. And when I talk to clients, I always say that you have to put not only the mindset, but also the emotion. So like, what does that mean? Like when you achieve, saving for whatever it is, you got to have that feeling, that emotion behind it that gets you excited to continue going.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And once they've done that, and maybe at the same time, I would say another tip is you got to track your expenses. Now, I know this isn't fun, but it is necessary because only then will you really know where you're spending your money. I mean, I've had, so many people, I'm sure you have too, Paula, who say, oh yeah, I know where I'm spending my money. But when they actually track where every dollar is going for at least 3 months, I like to see it done for 6, but at least 3 months, then they start going, oh, I didn't realize I was spending my money, on this many subscriptions or this many lattes or fill in the blank.
A lot for most people is eating out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't realize how much, I'm just going to stop and grab lunch. Well, if you do that 10 times in a month, it's like, I remember going back where you could buy lunch for like $8. Now it's $15 to buy lunch.
Yeah. Oh, at least. Yeah.
You do that 10 times a month, that's $150. It all adds up over time.
Absolutely. It certainly does.
Let's talk about subscription services. And it seems to be the way to get your entertainment today. I mean, cable has become so expensive. And I think they're going to eventually have to come into where they're doing some more subscription type of services. But they add up.
Oh, totally.
How do you talk with your clients about those services?
I consider this a discretionary expense. It's not a necessary expense. And it kind of goes back to tracking their expenses. Where are they spending their money? Because a lot of them don't realize how much they are spending on subscriptions. So when I'm working with clients, we talk about priorities, what's really important, which ones are you really watching? I mean, when you really get down to it, we might have, 4 subscriptions and we really only watch 2. And so it's a matter of prioritizing. And then what are you budgeting for this? I mean, are you budgeting $20 a month or $100 a month? And so that sometimes will drive the decision. When it comes to things like that, I mean, I don't pay for, cable or dish or whatever for the, your standard TV because A, I don't watch it, but B, I get my news from YouTube and YouTube is free, at least right now. And you can actually get every news channel on YouTube. So why not get it free instead of paying for a cable subscription?
Okay, Linda, you don't watch any TV? Like you don't watch any sitcoms or?
I don't watch TV. I have subscriptions and YouTube. And I have 2 subscriptions. That's what I have budgeted for myself.
I'm curious, what are they? Which 2?
So Netflix and Prime Video. And Prime Video is actually part of my Amazon Prime.
Yeah. So my philosophy when I was thinking about how to handle this, you might get a service to watch a certain show.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, you don't watch anything else on that channel, but you forget to cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have Netflix right now, But winter's coming and I likely to watch a little bit more TV in the winter. So I'm just waiting. Like my friend said to me the other day, did you watch such and such on Netflix? I'm like, nope. I'm waiting until it gets snow here and then I'm going to watch whatever I need to catch up on Netflix. And then I'm going to cancel it again. I'm sure Netflix doesn't like to hear that, but that's how I'm handling it.
Exactly. And I also tell my clients, take advantage of those free trials that are always being offered. And like you said, if you know you want to watch a show, do it on a free trial. And then remember, of course,
to cancel it.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I don't think a lot of people think, and I got burned on that the other day. Usually if I purchase something on my iPhone, then I can go through and just cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds you to cancel. And I forgot about this service and ended up having to pay for a year for something that I really don't want.
So annoying.
Yeah. It just doesn't happen to me, I'm sure.
No. And that's why, why not put it on your calendar? Don't we calendar everything else? Oh, I do. I put everything on my calendar. Things like that. I actually, set a reminder, so to speak, cancel it. And I try to do it a day or two ahead of time for that very reason. Can I go back for a second to, budgeting?
Sure.
Which, like I said, I prefer to call it an intentional money and spending saving plan.
Mm-hmm.
I think so many people get caught up in, at least I get asked this question a lot. How should I budget? What kind of a budget should I set up? And there's many different methods, as you well know, but I actually recommend the backwards budget, which people always are kind of like the backwards budget. I actually recommend that clients save first, pay their debts, pay their fixed or their non-discretionary bills, and then the rest is for fun. And the fun money is what will help dictate how much do they have available for subscriptions, how much do they have available for things like convenience items, whether it's home delivery or eating out or, whatever that might entail. But that should come last, not first.
Well, Linda, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun when you take the fun and put it at the bottom. Just kidding.
Okay, so
I'm just kidding. I was just kidding.
It doesn't have to take all of the fun out of it. Once again, you get to prioritize.
Let's go back to, you talked about Prime, Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very tempting to just buy. I mean, it's so easy and it comes, sometimes the same day or, the next day. And I think that impulse shopping is contagious.
It's addictive.
Yes.
And it's addictive for a couple of reasons. First of all, we are immediate gratification and we want it. We want it now. And oh my gosh, like I said, you can order something and it can be on your doorstep, in depending where you live, 6, 8, 24 hours. So this is what I do. And this is what I recommend for my clients. I have a couple different steps, but first of all, I say, use the 24-hour rule. Leave your item in your shopping cart for 24 hours. During that 24 hours, whether it's a piece of clothing or it's a book or whatever it is, go and look in your budget and see, have I put money in there for this item? Number one. Number two, do I need it? And, if people are serious about A, getting out of debt or B, saving for something in particular, it's, do I need this item right now, immediate gratification, or do I want to put this money towards this goal, whatever goal it is, whether it's paying off a credit card or saving for a down payment on a car or a house?
Yeah, it's understanding the difference between needs and wants.
Exactly. And if it's something that you budgeted for, something that you need, then after 24 hours, go ahead and buy it. You've done the research or you've thought through the process of, yes, this is worth it. The other thing is if it's a large ticket item, and large is a relative term, it could be, $50 for somebody, it could be $100, it could be $1,000. If it's a large ticket item, then I say leave it in your cart for 7 days and really do the soul searching. Then really take a look to see, is it something I need? Is it something I budgeted? Did I budget it for this month or next month? And is it something that is worthwhile getting now? Or do I want to put that money towards one of my other goals?
For a lot of people, and I know for myself, if I put it in my cart and I think about it, because I use the 24-hour rule, if I put it there, lots of times I get busy doing something else and I'll forget to go back. And then next time I go into Amazon or something, it's there and I'm like, oh, well, I really must not have needed it because now it's gone, because I didn't buy it when I needed it. So now I just delete it and move forward. It works for me.
I do the same thing. Absolutely. It has saved me
Yeah.
more than once.
Yeah. I think the big thing and one of the hardest things to do when you started talking about it earlier is tracking.
Mhm.
Like when you really sit down and track, like I download my credit card statement every couple of weeks and just kind of see where I'm at to what I have in line for entertainment and where I'm at for that. Cause I track my entertainment, my food, gas, and I allocate so much a month for that. And then, some months I'm like, ooh, I can't do anything for the next
Yeah.
week and a half because I'm pretty close to that and I still need to buy groceries.
Right. And so with some of my clients, I actually have them go weekly, look at their credit card weekly and pay it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I've charged $50 for groceries. My budget's $100. I'm paying that $50. It's coming out of my grocery allowance. And you know what you're charging on your credit card because credit cards are so easy to forget what we charged. You get the statement. It's like, crap. I forgot or I didn't realize. And so when you look at it every week, when you pay it every week, then it's not a surprise to your cash flow. It's not a surprise to your budget. And it's a way to really stay on top of where your money's going.
That's a great idea. I do it once a month, but I could see that working for a lot, especially if you get paid weekly.
Mm-hmm. Or every 2 weeks.
The key is just knowing what's going on and not get blindsided by the fact that you overspent whenever you pay that bill, that you've overspent and you don't have the money. And that's how you end up in debt.
Yeah, exactly. And being responsible, which, we have to adult every now and then, whether we enjoy it or not.
God, Linda, you've taken away my fun and now you told me I had to be an adult.
I know, sounds like crap, doesn't it?
Yes.
But when you reach your goals, then you thank me.
Okay.
Whether it's paying off the credit cards. And so let's talk about that just for a second. I know we're limited on time.
No, go ahead.
Credit score is critical. Women ask me, can I get my latte? And I don't give a crap about your latte, honestly. Let's look at your credit score. Let's talk about money that really matters. Let's make sure you can get the lowest interest rate possible. Let's save thousands of dollars on that mortgage instead of a couple $100 on a latte. Let's talk about stuff that really counts.
Well, your credit score affects a lot of things. Your car insurance.
Absolutely.
What you're going to be charged. I have no idea why that has to do anything with that, but
yeah,
it affects a lot of things that people don't even realize.
It impacts your utilities.
What?
Yeah, whether you have to pay a deposit on your utilities initially, it impacts how much you pay for rent. It impacts how much you have to pay for your mortgage, your interest rate on your mortgage. It impacts how much you pay for literally everything. And that's where you save money. And that's where you make the thousands of dollars and positive impact, not a couple $100. Let's talk about the meaningful stuff. And that's really where to start. And that's why it's so important not to run up your credit cards. And that's why it's important to understand what your credit score is and to pull those free credit scores that you get from all of the reporting agencies. You get a free one every year. I recommend that you space them out every quarter. Run your free credit report from a different agency so that you're constantly staying on top of that and trying to increase it.
What are some key tips to increasing your credit score? Besides paying your bills on time, those are like the obvious, but are there anything that isn't obvious?
Well, it is obvious, but so many people don't do it. So yeah, pay your bills on time, keep a low balance. And so when you're paying that credit card off every week, that's awesome. For young people, this is what I recommend is you getting your first credit card, putting, say, your phone bill, you're putting that on your credit card so that you've got a monthly charge, but then you pay it off the following week. So you're not going to be having an outstanding balance. And so they see usage and payment. And that's what they want to do to start building your credit. Pay your credit card off in full every month so that you're not building an outstanding balance. That's really the top way to do it. And then, of course, longevity. The longer you have a credit card open, that is also a plus, whether you use it or not.
I always talk to people about not getting those, every time you walk into Macy's or Kohl's or wherever, they're like, can I sign you up for a credit card so you save 20%?
No.
Just get your Chase or Citibank or whatever it is. And
one or two credit cards, that's all you should be using. And you're right. Don't sign up, because the more you sign up for it, then that impacts your score every time you sign up for another credit card, or every time you apply for a car loan. Those all are little dings against your credit score.
Yeah, I do this myself, and I everybody that I can get to do it, I have them freeze their credit so that people can't ding it.
Yes.
And then when you're in the store and they're like, Paula, why don't you sign up for that credit card and I'll save 20%. I'm like, oh no, it's such a hassle because I got to call and unfreeze it. And, so it's not worth it.
Absolutely.
I'm really not going to do it anyway, but it's a good excuse to tell them that.
It totally is.
So they stop harassing you. But yeah, freezing your credit, I know, because they'll ding it. And then once I froze my credit too, I noticed that I don't get those credit card applications in the mail all the time.
Like one a day.
Yeah. So I don't get that anymore, which is really nice.
Yeah. I froze mine because I was traveling and I just didn't want to give anyone the opportunity to play around with my financial information. So.
Oh, yeah. Because that's a nightmare if you got to clean that up. Okay. One last thing I want to talk about, and I know it's becoming a new norm for most people, is ordering and having it delivered. And it's super expensive. I mean, it adds a ton onto the bill when you use Uber Eats or DoorDash. I ordered something the other day and I couldn't believe they wanted me to pay $8 just to have that delivered to my house.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, by the time you add all that in, it costs more than the food.
Right, right. So I think we have to take a look at, why are we doing it?
Because we're lazy?
Well, COVID got us into the habit. It was, we can blame everything on COVID now, right? But it's just like anything else. It's a habit. And so is it a habit that's worthwhile? And is the convenience worth the cost? It's a cost benefit analysis. You can tell I'm a CPA. And so it's taking a look. And once again, when you track your expenses, and that's under the eating out category, and it's like, okay, is this worth the cost? Is that, additional $8 for the delivery? Is that giving me an opportunity to generate additional income that is worth the convenience? To me, that's the trade-off you have to think about. Is it just because I don't feel like going out and getting food? Okay, well, maybe we should do a little meal prep. Maybe we should do a little grocery shopping, evenings or weekends. But really, is it giving me an opportunity to generate additional income so that I don't have to take a break and go make a meal or go out and get it? So I think that's really where we're at. And once again, when we track our expenses, that's one of those things that comes to light.
Well, you've shared some great information with us. So if anybody would like to work with you or talk with you, how would they get a hold of you?
Yeah, it's really easy. lindalingo.com. You can email me at linda@lindalingo.com. But I have a couple of freebies. One's a money saving quiz, and the other one is a PDF 9 Savvy Wealth Building Steps. And both of those are on my website, lindalingo.com.
Actually, I'll ask John to put those in the show notes, a link to those resources.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So if anybody wants to get a hold of me, they can reach me at paula@paulachristine.com, or you can check out my website at paulachristine.com. So I have some resources also that you can check out too. So thanks very much, Linda. Some great information.
Thank you, Paula. Appreciate it. It's been great talking with you.